Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Helen and my channel name is Helen Anyango. If you're watching me for the first time, please do subscribe down below. Get notified by pressing the notification bell so that when I post my next video, you'll be the first one to know or the first one to get alerted. So here I talk about my life as a house manager in Iraq, and we get to know more about our domestic workers here in Arabic countries. So today I have something very interesting to you also. I'll be talking about finishing our contracts, or what we should do when we're about to finish our contracts, and it will be very useful for those who are almost finishing their contracts, maybe they're in the last months. And even if you are new here, even if you are new in the contract or you have started the contract, it will still be useful to you, because when you're about to finish the contract, it will still help you at the end. So guys, stay tuned until the end of the video and get to learn more and hear more about what I'm going to be saying today. So stay tuned. Okay, so as we all know, anyone who is visiting the Arabic countries, especially as a house manager or a house keeper, we usually come with a visit visa. Yes, a visit visa which expires after 3 months. So what happens after that 3 months? After the visit visa has expired, your contract is for 2 years. Wow, it's very hot today, very hot. Okay, so after the visit visa has expired and your contract is for 2 years, so that is when the ikama comes in. Ikama is like the ID. You have to have the ID, like, as in, the ID means that you are legally in here, or you are legally in this country for the 2 years. So you have to have the ID, and that ID, it's your boss that gets it for you, or your sponsor is the one that gets it for you. So after 3 months of your stay here, after the visa has expired, you're supposed to have an ID. They call it ikama, if I pronounced it well. Ikama, I don't know, ikama or igama, something like that, but it is an ID that shows that you are here legally, okay, for that 2 years. And this ID, they renew it after every year. After every single year, they renew it. After every single year, they renew it, okay? So when we are here, we have some that have the IDs and some that don't have the IDs. I don't know if it is okay to don't have the ID, or why don't some have the ID. I don't know the reason under that, because we'll find that some of us, we are here, we stay until the end of 2 years without any ID. So what happens at the end of your contract? If you came here, like I said before, after 3 months, they apply for you an ID after your visit visa has expired. So if your boss maybe had an ID applied to you, that means that after the day that you stepped in the country, or the day that you entered here, until the first 3 months, okay, that will be, you'll be staying under your visa. But after that visa expires, that's when the ID comes in, okay? So when the ID comes in, which means that you have already worked for 3 months, under the visa, okay? So when the ID comes in, it means that this ID, after 1 year and 3 months, it shall be renewed. Not after 1 year, but after 1 year and 3 months, it shall be renewed. Okay, I hope you're getting me. Which means after 1 year and 3 months, it shall be renewed. So you will have to work after you finish your year, and then they'll add the other 3 months, the month that the ID was started to apply, or maybe they applied for your ID. So that's why you find that after every 2 years, most of the girls, after every 2 years, you find that they have finished their contracts, but they cannot go home because of the day the ID was applied. That means that they have to stay another 2 or 3 months, because you have the bosses that maybe they'll tell you, okay, so you have finished your contract, just go. But you have some that will tell you, no, you still have to stay until you finish the next 3 months, because your ID or your ikama reached that you have another 3 months to stay, okay? So that's why you find that most of the girls, they'll finish their contracts on time, but you cannot go back home. So what happens when you don't have an ID? So when you don't have an ID, maybe you've been staying without an ID, okay? that's not a, it's mostly okay. I think all the bosses should have ID for their workers, because ID, it shows that we are legally here. Apart from the passport, we should also have the IDs because of the movement around. We can move from one city to the other. We can move out, you know. But unfortunately, not all of us get the IDs. So what happens when you don't have the ID? You should know that when you don't have the ID, be prepared always. Oh my goodness, it's very hot. Always be prepared. Like you should always be communicating with the office, so that when the office, so that you can tell the office before. Tell the office before you have finished your contract. Like maybe you have remained 6 months like this. Contact the office. If you have the office number, tell them that now I'm almost finishing my contract and I want to go back on time, so that the office may start doing all the things that are supposed to be done. Okay? All the things that are supposed to be done in between there, because you did not have the ID in the first place. So they have to do all the things that are supposed to be done on time before your contract for the end of your 2 years, so that you can go back at home in your country in time. Because if you stay and keep quiet until the last minute and you don't have your ID, then you tell the office maybe in the last minute, you'll have to stay another extra months, which some will find it's okay, because maybe you are staying in a house that is good. So maybe you say that the extra money that you get in the extra months, maybe you do for shopping with yourself or other things. But there's some who just wish for the last day. They finish the contract, they can just leave on the same day. These houses are different. So you have to know those two things. If you have your ID, what will happen? And if you don't have your ID, you should start the process, or asking your agent as early as possible. So bear with me, it's very hot here. And the second thing, if you're about to finish your contract, maybe you have already finished 1 year and 6 months. So I think this is the perfect time that you start telling your boss. This is the perfect time that you should also know, or you should also have made up your mind if you are going back home to your country, or if you want to add another year. But personally, I prefer that. But maybe I prefer that you go back to your country, relax maybe 1, 2, 3 months, and then come back. If the house was good, go see your family and then come back. But there are some who say that, okay, the house is good, let me not waste time. Maybe let me not waste that time gap going back to my country and coming back. If you see that maybe your family back at home are okay, or you still feel that maybe you are okay, you are still strong, you can still continue. It depends with everyone. It depends with everyone or with their families that they are working in. But in this kind of situation, personally, I prefer after 2 years you go back to your country, see your people, and then you come back. If the family is good, let them pay you a ticket, a to and fro ticket. Go and relax your mind, go and see your family, and then come back. But there are some who maybe prefer to just stay in the same house, add another year, and even add the second year, and even some add until 5 years. So it depends with everyone. But if you want to add extra years from your 2 years, make sure that you have consulted the office that brought you. Let them know, let them have a follow-up. Okay, let them know that you are still in this country, you are still working here. And if maybe the family the family had an ikama for you since the first year, tell them also to make another ikama for you for all those years. Maybe if you're staying for the second year, a new ikama, third year, a new ikama, and they renew every year. Okay, have a follow-up on that. And if you are staying here, maybe you don't have any ikama and you want to add another year, please make sure that the office that brought you know. Okay, because once you have come here, the contract is always for 2 years. From your country, they know that you came here for 2 years. So after that 2 years, they know that you have gone back to your country. They expect that you are back in your country. So if you are still staying here for extra 2 years and nobody knows, in case anything happens to you, it will be hard for a follow-up. It will be very hard for a follow-up. So make sure that you have told your office that, you know what, I've finished my 2 years contract and I want to add another year. Always communicate. Don't keep quiet and don't assume things, okay? Always communicate. So the third point, I wrote them down, so I'll be reading them. Sorry for that. The third point, okay, most of us, when you come the first year, maybe you're still like maybe when you've come here the first year, the first month, you know, you're still naive, you're still that good girl, you feel so okay, you are doing well in your job, you have that respect, everything is good, you know. But when it reaches 1 year 6 months, I don't know what happens, because now you start feeling like you're not the same, you know. You start people even start changing their attitude, which is not good. If you came here, just make sure that you maintain that attitude, or you just make sure that you maintain that respect until the last day that you get out of the house. Remember that they are the ones who brought you, they are the ones who have been staying with you, so please don't change your attitude, because you know it's the last minute. Just stay the way you are. Don't be so overjoyed until you start seeing, like, you know, you start seeing that maybe you start even seeing a boss like you just see them like that, you know. You don't see them like they're your bosses or anything. You start waking up very late. You start doing things differently, you know. All the attitudes, please, even if you have remained 2 months or 1 month, just be who you are when you came the first day. Changing your attitude may make you lose a lot of things, because maybe sometimes someone has something for you, a present for you, someone wants to give you something, but all of a sudden you have changed your attitude. So they'll not give you whatever they wanted to give you, because after all they say, she's going and she has already changed her attitude, let her go, you know. And again, you can even start changing your attitude like that, and they can also change their attitude towards you. Now, because they know that now you're finishing, they'll start giving you extra jobs, extra works. They start even overworking you than you've been working all that while. Okay? So just stay calm, just be who you have been. Just play along as you have always been since day one as you came here. So please don't change your attitude, just be who you are until the day you will step out of the house and now be free to go back to your country. Okay? Another thing, so maybe, like, for example, you have reached one year and a half. That's when you should start telling your madam that now I want to maybe go do some shopping. I want to start buying things slowly for my family. Okay, let her know. Just alert her early in time. Just alert her very early, so that she can know that, okay, now our girl wants to go. Tell her early in advance, so that even if before it has reached your time to go, they will bring another girl to replace you. In time. Avoid that last minute thing that where you just keep quiet until the end of the month or the end of the last month that you're supposed to be going, and then you start telling them that now I want to go, my contract is finished. They will tell you that now we want to go, we don't have anyone. You'll have to stay here until you bring someone. And with this everything that's going on around the world, you can stay even, you don't know. Things are now taking too long to come because of the corona issues. Everything is taking too long to come here to these Arabic countries. Like, for example, now Saudi Arabia, if you want to go there, we have a compulsory training. You have to be trained. You have to be waiting things, corona testing. Everything is just being delayed, you know. So the earlier the better. Talk to madam. Let her know very in time that you want to go. By the time you have reached 1 year and 6 months, you will have come to a conclusion whether you want to go, whether you want to stay, whether you want to go and come back. By that time, you should have a good conclusion. So if you want to go, tell her early, so that you can even also start planning for another girl to come and replace you early, so that you cannot waste time. After finishing your contract, you still have to stay extra months. Okay, let her know early. And avoid this thing. If you already told her maybe once, avoid this telling her repetitive, like every day. You know, sometimes it's very annoying. Reminding someone something every day. It's very annoying. Once you have told her, now relax again. You know, relax again. Take a few months again. And then you can ask her again. Don't be repeating the same thing every day, you know, like I want to go, I'm going, my days are almost everything, you know. It becomes annoying. They know that you want to go. They know, even because they have been paying you all this while, so they're counting your months, and they know that you want to go. And there's some bosses who they'll not tell you anything. Like they'll not, like maybe you're almost finishing your contract. They'll not like ask you, so what's your take? Are you going to come back? Do you want to add? Or we have some bosses that they don't talk at all. They'll just be waiting for you to say anything, something. So in case of such a thing, step in. Tell them that, sit down with the mama, tell her that now my days are finished, or like maybe my months are almost, you know, I want to go, and you can bring someone in time. Start engaging with them the earlier. Like maybe you've remained only 6 months. Start engaging your talks with them when you've remained like only 6 months, so that you can give them time on the side, and so that you can also have time to do maybe your shopping, okay, pack your things, have enough time. Don't wait until the last minute. So guys, I think that's all I had for this video. If I've forgotten something, maybe, or maybe if I did not say something that is not correct, you know, you can still share with me something in the comments. Let me know. Let me get to know much better. And thanks once again for staying tuned until the end of the video, guys. Please, if you have not subscribed until the end, please subscribe down below. Press you can like, you can comment, and let's continue to grow together. Okay, guys, it's very hot here. It's very hot. We are in summer. It's very hot, almost 45 degrees, 50 degrees. Iraq is very hot right now, so that's why you see me sweating every time. Yeah, it's very hot. So guys, thanks so much for staying tuned until the end of the video. See you on my next video.